Everyday people are my celebrities with Coach B. So here's a raw gut level narration, right? It's not polished for comfort, but sharpened for awakening. It's written to cut, not to coddle, to disturb, not to entertain, to force a mirror in front of the reader and ask the only question that matters: which one am I? And who am I truly following? You got the sheep, the shepherds, and the program. And let me explain plainly, because comfort has killed more of us than truth ever could. Everyone wants to be aligned. Everyone claims to be awake. Everyone believes that they are the exception. But the land tells a different story. The world is not run by lions. It's not sustained by rebels. It is powered by sheep and controlled by whoever convinces them that they're free. And before you feel offended, understand this. Sheep are not stupid. Sheep are necessary. Sheep are smart. But sheep do not decide. A sheep can think, but does not choose. A sheep can reason, but does not rule. A sheep can feel deeply, but will surrender truth for comfort every time. And that is why the system loves them. We're not enslaved by change anymore. We're enslaved by software. We're installed early, updated often, defended violently. When Western education did not free the mind, it reorganized it. It taught us what to think, not how to decide. It created specialists without wisdom, professionalism without discernment, and degrees without direction. And doctors who heal bodies but cannot diagnose systems. Lawyers who know law but not justice. Pastors who quote scriptures but flee wolves. Politicians who speak loudly but serve quietly. Brilliant minds, still sheep. Because intelligence without sovereignty is just obedience with credentials. So there's a new priesthood, content creators and influencers, and now content creators who master the algorithm but never challenge the narrative. Influencers who shape culture without accepting responsibility for consequences. They are the new pulpit, the new town square, the new priesthood. Millions listen, few are led. And they know how to go viral, but not how to go vertical. They can move crowds, but not mature them. They speak confidently about symptoms, yet never touches the disease. Why? Because the algorithm rewards emotion, not discernment. Outrage, not understanding. Sides, not solutions. So they divide because division pays. They simplify because nuance doesn't trend. And they perform outrage because truth is too quiet. They don't ask, is this right? They ask, will this get engagement? So let's be honest. Many influencers are not leaders. They're a sheep with microphones. They follow sponsorships, brand deals, political alignment, audience approval, and they speak what keeps them safe. They avoid what costs them reach, and they know exactly what the line is and never crosses it. Not because they don't see the truth, but because they're afraid of losing relevance. That is not leadership. That is survival dressed as carriage. A shepherd will risk being unfollowed. A sheep will risk the future to stay like. You've seen them. The influencer who claims to be for the people, but never critiques the system that funds them. The content creator who educates, but only within narratives approved by advertisers. The activist who speaks loudly during trending moments and goes silent when the work gets dangerous. Or the podcaster who sounds revolutionary until election season comes and the script tightens, and the professional with degrees on the wall, sitting under a pastor, clearly misleading the flock, yet staying quiet to preserve relationships. Highly educated, deeply programmed. They're not ignorant. They're compromised. This is how sheep lead sheep in the modern age. One sheep gains followers. Other sheep confuse visibility with authority. Emotion replaces discernment. Virality replaces verification. And the flock moves, not towards truth, but towards whatever feels validating. The influencer cries, the flock cries. The influencer rages, the flock rages. The influencers point left or right, the flock chooses sides, never realizing that the shepherd don't live on either side. They live above the battlefield. Because a true shepherd must speak when silence pays better, lose money to save people, be misunderstood to protect truth, and reject platforms that demand compromise. Most creators are not trained for that. They're trained to optimize content, read analytics, protect brand image, and avoid cancellation. That is not discernment. That is conditioning. Western education perfected this model. Smart, articulate, confident sheep who can explain the world but can't change it. That's a tragedy. Because some of these influencers could have been shepherds. But trauma taught them to seek approval. Scarcity taught them to cling to income. The system taught them that speaking fully is too expensive. So they stay half truthful, half awake, half free. And half truth are more dangerous than lies, because sheep defend them emotionally. And the difference between a shepherd and an influencer is simple. An influencer asks, how will this affect my platform? A shepherd asks, how will this affect the flock in 20 years? Influencer builds an audience. A shepherd builds people. An influencer fears being deplatformed, and a shepherd fears leaving the sheep unprotected. Let me give you a final warning. The most dangerous leader today is not the obvious liar. It's the charismatic sheep who sounds intelligent, feels relatable, and never challenges the cage. And the most tragic reality, many sheep will reject the true shepherd because his voice does not sound familiar, his message does not feel good, and his truth threatens their comfort. So again, the question stands. Are you following someone because they're popular, or because they're protecting you from the voices and the wolves you don't see yet? Because platforms will fall, algorithm will change, and influencers will pivot. But the damage done by sheep leading sheep will echo for generations. Choose your shepherd wisely. And here's the most dangerous condition of all. Sheep and shepherd positions. People elevated by popularity, promoted by trauma, crowned by emotions. They were never trained to protect the flock, only to survive applause. So they react instead of lead. They perform instead of discern. They protect relationships instead of truth. And the flock follows them off cliffs, into confusion, into cycles, not because they're evil, but because they were never meant to lead. And the deeper the wound, the louder the need for validation. The louder the need for validation, the easier the control. Traumatized sheep seek powerful figures, athletes, celebrities, politicians, wealthy faces, influencers with platforms, not because they lead well, but because they feel safe. And emotions replaces discernment. Familiarity replaces truth. Popularity replaces wisdom. And truth becomes offensive, not because it's wrong, but because it threatens the identity they survived with. Let me be clear before the emotional shutdown begins. A world without sheep collapses, because sheep build, sheep maintain, sheep execute. They are the engineers, the nurses, the teachers, the workers, the organizers. They carry the world on their backs. But they are meant to be led by true shepherds, not marketers, not politicians, not wolves in robes. And when sheep are wounded, confused, unhealthy, miseducated, their offspring inherit the same blindness. Lost sheep produce lost generations. And there's three types of people in this world. You got the smart, the intellectual, and you got both. Smart people master systems. They memorize, they perform, they specialize. These are your doctors, your lawyers, your pastors, your politicians, your content creators, your influencers. Intellectuals, they create systems. They think critically. They solve root problems. They rule behind the scenes. And they are the architects of government, economies, narratives. And then you have those that are rare, few, and those who are both. They are the shepherds. And that is why they are hunted early. Some shepherds rise, then discover the price. They learn quickly. Speak this, not this. Speak this, not that. Push this, not truth. Serve money, not people. And when they choose survival over service, they become sheep with influence. They're bought, managed, used to control other sheep. This is how movements die without bloodshed. You don't kill the shepherd anymore. You purchase him. And we were told education equals freedom. Right? This is the lie of progress. Wealth equals wisdom. Visibility equals leadership. So we chase credentials instead of clarity. We chase money instead of mission. We chase platforms instead of people. And the true shepherds, the ones who don't care about money, cars, attention, or applause, are pushed aside. They're whispered in those selected corners, gossiped by those who deeply envy a different type of strength. They're ignored, underfunded, criminalized, broken early, not because they're weak, but because they're dangerous to the program. They're dangerous to the software. So why Martin Luther King and Malcolm X matter still today, years later? Because their struggle was real. But the obstacle wasn't accidental, it was engineered. Because the system still learns something important. You don't need to assassinate the man, just destroy his dreams, which limit the resources, starve the movement, fragment the followers, and install false shepherds. And the sheep will never know what was stolen from them. The most dangerous reality is not ignorant sheep. It's sheep who believe that they're shepherds, shepherds who know that they're compromised, and sheep who defend their chains emotionally. You could see it everywhere. Go to any comment section. Watch the red versus the blue. Watch emotions versus emotion, content versus content creator. Those defending sides are sheep. Those seeing through sides are shepherds. Because there's only one side, truth versus control. And the true shepherd, a true shepherd cannot be bought, does not seek the front, protects the flock at personal cost, and they think in generations, not elections. And they serve even when misunderstood. David was a shepherd, not because he killed Goliath, but because he faced wolves before anyone was watching. That is the difference. And he was chosen by the Most High. So whoever went against David went against he who chose David. So the final question to you, is there a David in your mix? So now the mirror is in front of you. Not are you smart, not are you educated, not are you successful, but are you a sheep, a shepherd, or a sheep pretending to lead other sheep? And more importantly, who are you willing to follow when the truth no longer feels good? Because the future of the brown and dark skinned community will not be decided by popularity, degrees, or parties. It will be decided by whether the sheep choose a true shepherd or remain loyal to the program that trained them to obey. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day we will raise children who are not programmed, but prepared. That one day shepherds will no longer flee leadership, and sheep will no longer confuse comfort with safety. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day truth will no longer be offensive and discernment will no longer be rare. That one day we will stop asking who sounds good and start asking who protects the flock. Until then, choose wisely, because sheep always follow a voice. The only question is, whose?
You asked for a platform that connects the people. Now it's here. Welcome to UMYO Network, a digital universe of gated communities built around your interests. Universities to medical, faith-based to entertainment, from the restaurants to Black-owned business. There's a hub just for you. Linktree on steroids, a social search engine, a digital white and yellow pages, all in one hub. Starting as low as $49.99, businesses get a digital card, searchable directory listing, and a platform that connects with their community. Promote your brand in a space tailored to your audience with 24/7 live rooms, a marketplace, Eventbrite-style tools, and more. Virtual conferences 24/7, no time restraints, online games, podcasts, mental health resources, and even daily prizes, starting at just $5.99 a month. Stay where you are, share where you want. UMYO lets you connect and sync your profile with today's biggest platforms. A safe space, positive minds only, break the noise, or get booted. Our rules, our way. Yo, the future of connection starts here.